the dark side of living in Nottingham, England. When most people think of Nottingham, images of Robin Hood, historic castles, and a vibrant university city come to mind. But there's another side, a side that doesn't make it into the brochures or Instagram reels. The dark side of living in Nottingham, England reveals a more complicated story. While there's charm and culture, there are also very real problems that affect the everyday lives of the people who live there. From crime and poverty to traffic chaos and rising costs, here are 8 unsettling truths about life in this East Midlands city. 1. Crime rates that still haunt the city. Nottingham has worked hard to clean up its image over the years, but crime remains a pressing issue. The city still ranks high for certain offences, including burglary, assault, and knife crime, especially in districts like Radford, Hyson Green, and St Anne's. According to police data from the past year, Nottinghamshire recorded over 110,000 crimes, with Nottingham contributing a significant share. One of the most concerning trends is youth-related violence. Knife crime incidents involving teenagers have increased steadily, creating fear among parents and teachers. Residents report that they avoid walking alone at night in certain postcodes. The local police force has introduced neighbourhood policing initiatives and public safety campaigns, but these measures often lack the staffing and funding to be fully effective. The dark side of living in Nottingham becomes especially visible in these neighbourhoods, where law enforcement is stretched thin and community fear is real. 2. Persistent poverty and deprivation. Behind the modern shopping centres and university campuses, a very different Nottingham exists. Parts of the city are among the most deprived in the United Kingdom. Areas such as Bulwell, Bestwood, and Aspley suffer from entrenched poverty, where multi-generational unemployment and underinvestment have taken a toll. According to the Index of Multiple Deprivation, several Nottingham wards rank in the bottom 10% nationally. Over 1 in 3 children in these neighbourhoods live below the poverty line. That's thousands of families struggling to afford basic needs like heating, school uniforms, or even 3 meals a day. Nottingham has some of the highest rates of food bank usage in the East Midlands. Charities and community centres often fill in the gaps left by overstretched public services. But even they are overwhelmed, with long queues forming outside food banks each week. The economic divide in Nottingham is visible, not just statistically, but in the day-to-day lives of people who are simply trying to get by. 3. A housing crisis that's getting worse. Nottingham's housing problems are twofold: limited availability and poor quality. While new luxury apartments are rising in the city centre, affordable housing remains scarce. Waiting lists for social housing stretch into the thousands, and rental costs have climbed faster than local wages. A study by Shelter found that nearly 1 in 5 private rental homes in Nottingham fail to meet basic living standards. Complaints about damp, broken heating systems and dangerous wiring are common. In areas like Lenton and Arboretum, many homes are also converted into student lets, pushing out long-term residents and further driving up rent. Landlords often neglect properties, knowing the demand outweighs supply. Tenants find themselves stuck, unable to afford to move, but unwilling to stay in substandard conditions. And with energy bills soaring, poorly insulated homes only deepen the financial strain. The housing crisis is a clear example of how the dark side of living in Nottingham impacts residents' health, finances, and overall quality of life. 4. Public services in financial trouble. Nottingham City Council has been in the headlines for all the wrong reasons. A Section 1(4) notice in late 2023, effectively admitting it could no longer balance its books. The result? Severe cuts to public services. Community centres have closed, bin collection services have been reduced, and libraries have shortened their opening hours. Even pothole repairs and street cleaning have slowed down. council tax has increased to try and plug the gap, but the services delivered often don't match what residents are paying for. Social services are particularly under pressure. Reports of long waiting times for mental health support, disability care assessments, and housing applications are becoming the norm. Vulnerable residents, those who rely most on council-run services, are being left behind. The city's financial mess means that even basic infrastructure like road maintenance and local parks are deteriorating, with no clear timeline for recovery. 5. Education disparities and school challenges. While Nottingham is home to 2 major universities, not all local children benefit from a strong education. In fact, several secondary schools in the city have struggled with low performance ratings from Ofsted, the UK's school inspection authority. In disadvantaged neighbourhoods, high teacher turnover and limited resources have led to poor academic results. In 2022, only around 42% of pupils in Nottingham achieved a grade 4 or above in English and Maths GCSEs, well below the national average. The educational divide often mirrors the city's economic inequality. Kids from wealthier areas attend better performing schools, while those in deprived zones are left behind. Schools in areas like Clifton and Top Valley often struggle to recruit qualified teachers due to the pressures of managing challenging classroom environments. Budget limitations mean less access to extracurricular programs, music classes, or special educational needs support. These educational gaps don't just affect test scores, they impact long-term life chances. 6. Inequality between postcodes. Nottingham is a city of stark contrasts. Take a walk from the park, a leafy, gated community with Victorian townhouses, and within 15 minutes you'll find yourself in Hyson Green, where residents contend with overcrowded flats and some of the lowest household incomes in the region. This postcode inequality plays out in access to healthcare, job opportunities, and even life expectancy. In some Nottingham neighbourhoods, average life expectancy can be up to 12 years lower than in the wealthiest areas. It's a silent crisis that many outsiders don't see, but locals feel every day. Even access to green space and play areas for children is uneven. While some wards enjoy well-maintained parks, others have neglected unsafe recreation zones. Inequality also affects transport links. Some communities rely heavily on infrequent bus services, further isolating them from job prospects or essential services. 7. Transport frustrations and traffic nightmares. Despite the introduction of an award-winning tram system and extensive bus network, transport in Nottingham isn't always smooth sailing. Rush hour traffic can grind to a standstill along key routes like the A52 and Mansfield Road. Many older streets were not built for modern vehicle volumes, and it shows. Public transport fares have also steadily increased. A single bus journey now costs over £2.50, making daily commutes a significant expense for low-income residents. Services are also reduced on weekends and late evenings, leaving shift workers and students with limited options. Moreover, parking in Nottingham can be a nightmare. City centre spaces are expensive and scarce, while residential areas often suffer from permit disputes or lack of space altogether. These frustrations contribute to a growing reliance on cars, despite the city's efforts to promote greener alternatives. 8. A city in transition, but who benefits? Nottingham has seen a flurry of investment in recent years: new student accommodations, redevelopment around Broadmarsh, and tech firms setting up in the creative quarter. But there's a growing concern among locals. Who is this development really for? Many of these new projects cater to students and young professionals, while long-time residents feel pushed out. Gentrification has already changed the character of neighbourhoods like Sneinton and Hockley. Small independent shops are replaced by chain coffee shops and luxury flats. For many, the Nottingham they grew up in no longer feels familiar or accessible. These changes may improve the city's image on paper, but they often don't improve daily life for those already struggling. Local businesses face rising rents, and cultural spaces risk losing their authenticity. The dark side of living in Nottingham includes this creeping sense of disconnection, a feeling that the city is moving forward, but not with everyone on board. The dark side of living in Nottingham, England, is a reality for many residents. From crime and inequality to housing woes and overburdened public services, life here can be challenging. It's a city of rich history and resilient people, but its most pressing problems need urgent attention. Thank you for watching this video. Please don't forget to subscribe and turn on the notification bell.